Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 60. Holy moly, it's been 60 episodes of Around the Kingdom, a Disney Magic Kingdoms podcast by Gaia's Siamese, if you please. Coming to you from the Darling's house. From Darling's house, I am your host, Steve Squirrel, and back on the show after way too long of a break is AGeekyChick.
Hi, everyone.
I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us this week as we explore the wonderful world of Disney Magic Kingdoms. Before we get started, though, I want to thank each one of our Patreons: Carrie Schuin, Kathy Clausen, Honeybee, Kira, Tom Higgins, Patricia Baisden, Bree Hankey, Jen Ben, and Elliot Feldy. And if you want to find us on social media, there are plenty of ways to do it. Just look for the links in our show notes, and that's where you can find us. The kingdom is always changing, so for reference, this show is being recorded on Friday, February 7th at around 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Abbreviated beginning. I want to get right into the show. So let's talk about our week in the kingdom. AGeekyChick, how was your week?
It was very chill. I just started working on the Tramp, actually. Yeah, trying to get his tokens.
Okay, and how's that going for you? Slow but steady?
Yeah. I don't think I have everybody that can go out. Like, who is it? Pascal? I don't have Pascal, so there's that.
Okay. You didn't get Pascal yet? You got to work on that.
Yep.
Cool. Very good. And any other things going on? Leveling, any building upgrades? Leveling any characters? What else have you been doing from that perspective?
I haven't been doing much. I have some people this is the first time in a long time that I started playing regularly. So I just had some characters that I had started leveling a while ago, and I just finished those off. And now I'm just not necessarily trying to catch up, but just get a idea of where I'm at in the game and what needs to be done.
Sure. Cool. Awesome. So yeah, for me, I'm doing the same thing. I did just finish getting the last token for Tramp. So Tramp is now leveling. I will have him later this evening. So I'm glad to have him. Did you get Trusty?
No, that's the bundle. No, I haven't.
Yeah. I wound up getting him with gems. I dropped the 500 gems on him, and we'll talk about his bundle and our opinions on that in a little bit. But he definitely is a helper to some extent. So it's nice. I'm happy to have some Kingdom quests again. I was out of Kingdom quests. Have you finished the main storyline up till Tramp? Were you done with the Kingdom quests?
No, like I said, I haven't got Pascal.
Right.
And I don't have the Star Wars C-3PO.
Okay.
But the only quest I have, no, I'm not done. I still need to finish the DuckTale trio.
Okay.
I'm working on Louis, and then I need to get C-3PO, Pascal, and then I have a side quest thing that started up for Scrooge because I got him over Christmas.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so good. So you have lots of Kingdom stuff to go. So that's great. So you keep you busy. Yeah, but it was nice. I ran out of Kingdom quests, so now it's nice to have some more permanent content and a lot of it, as a matter of fact. So it will keep me busy for a good amount of time. So yeah, and then obviously a few side quests here and there that keep popping up. Mostly Coco and Star Wars. I've been spending a lot of time leveling those two character sets a lot. So they're ones that have been the most side quests popping up with, obviously. For building upgrades, I did not upgrade any buildings in the last 2 weeks. I haven't really found exactly what I want to get up yet. I'm close to getting 30 Star Wars relics because I want to get one of the enchantments to level 2. But same thing with Frozen. I'm close. But I'm still a few relics short here and there. So hopefully this week I'm going to get a bunch of relics and I can start enchanting some stuff. I think at this point, if I really wanted to rearrange things around in my kingdom, I should be able to get to the level 3 Thrill Zone to get the magic bonus. But I'm actually really good with magic. It's not a concern of mine. fortunately. So I don't really want to blow up my whole kingdom just to do that. It doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, I saw you said you're like 10 million magic.
Yeah, I'm close to 10 million now.
That's nice.
Yeah, and I'm not even like, I still have a lot of characters at home. But when you just, what it is magic goes very fast when you have a lot of low level characters. Like when you're doing a 1 hour level, then a 2 hour level, then a 4 hour level, and
Yeah.
an 8 hour level, you're pumping a lot of magic into those people. And it goes super fast. But once you get to the point where you're just doing like 16-hour levels, you're not spending as much magic. You have all the attractions, you have all the things, like you're just not spending it on anything. So that's like one of the things, like here's my feature report for you. I wish that they had content that was like really hard to get. Now, with that is going to come haters, right? You're gonna get haters. Like if they said, we're gonna make a plot of land available for 10 million magic, right? People would go nuts, right? Like it wouldn't be, oh well, I'm grateful that there is a plot of land of magic and that I'll eventually be able to get. They'll be like, why can't I get this now? But there should be something for players at this point in the game. It's very important to keep your players interested, right? And as your kingdom quests start going down, as your leveling starts kind of tapering off, like there can be a lull, and I have to admit, there's some lull that I'm experiencing now, where, you're consistently in events, which keeps you busy, but like I'm not saving up for anything. Like I've kind of just reached. Like, I don't need any elixir for anything. I don't need magic for anything. So maybe they just need to keep making things that you can do with magic and elixir to kind of keep players like myself still, needing to spend something, I don't know. Make a costume. Even a costume. Make a $5 million magic costume.
Yeah.
Something to spend your excess on, or something to look forward to saving. Like when you're at 2 million, and you know that, there's something you look forward to getting to that 5 million point. So it's just something to do. I like to compare the game to Hearthstone a lot.
I love that game.
Because it's not only is it a great game, but it's developed amazingly. Their developers are probably some of the best in the world. And one of the things they do is, like, for example, you have to get 500 wins with each character, and then you get a golden portrait, right? So people like myself eventually got 500 wins with every character. And then you're kind of like, well, now what? I don't have any characters I need to keep working on. And I hit a big lull where, I kind of lost a little interest. Well, lo and behold, they now have platinum characters that are at 1,000 wins. So it kind of gives you that incentive to keep working. So I don't know. That's just my big tangent that I just went on. So mind my rambling about that. So leveling. My week or 2 weeks is in leveling has been great. It's nice that Disney Magic Kingdoms has given us this break between the Star Wars event through Lunar New Year and now the Lady and Tramp permanent content. We have a lot of time. So I've just been plowing through 16-hour quests. 16-hour levels, throwing in, a 4 and 8. Some of my Star Wars people are still low, so throwing in a couple here and there. Some of my Coco characters were like 2, 4, and 8. And just like plowing through 16-hour quests, getting, really focusing on epics. As the characters I wanted to focus on, who do I have going out? So I have like Prince Charming leveling, because his stuff, has some epics. And I have Peter Pan. I was like, let's go, Peter. Now's the time to start collecting legendary stuff, right? So I have Peter Pan collecting. I have, just all characters that require harder to get tokens because I have the time now. I don't need to worry about, at least right now, wrapping up my leveling and preparing myself to have no token conflicts for an event. That being said, it looks like we're going to have something that might have token conflicts coming up, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But anyway, so that's what I've been doing. I've just been going nuts. So those 16-hour ones are the hardest ones to get through. 24 hours are easy because you just hit it and go, and you can
come back the next day.
Right, and you can do those while you're winding down towards an event, right? Like, an event is coming in 7 days, and you have a lot of people collecting still. You have 7 24-hour levels. You know what I mean? It's easy to just do, and while you're tapering off. So that's kind of where I'm at for leveling. My lifetime visitors board, I have broken past 40,000. I am at 38,675 is my rank. I'm coming. My big next goal is top 25,000.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm coming for it. Do you know what yours is off the top of your head? Can you peek?
It was probably like in the 70,000, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it was that high. Like, what are you, 30 now? It wasn't that high.
Yeah, 38.
Or low, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's still good.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, it seems like we've had some really good weeks in the kingdom. So I'm looking forward to another really fun week now that we have this event going on. And there'll be another event, a mini event coming shortly that I'm really excited to participate in too. All right. So now we're going to go into the newcomer tip of the week. And all right. So I'm gonna take over the newcomer tip of the week this week. And for you, I have something about gems. So gems are important in this game for a lot of reasons. And it's, I think, extremely important. When we haven't touched on this in a while, obviously we've talked about this in the past before, but for the people newer to listening, you want to be able to maximize your gem production. And the best way to do that is obviously every day, make sure that you watch your 2 ads on Main Street, right? Once you've unlocked to the point where you can watch ads, watch your 2 ads on Main Street. If you are a grown-up over the age of 13 years old and you accidentally put in an age under than 13 years old, you might not realize that there is a place on Main Street where you can watch ads. I know quite a few people that have done silly things like that, and then they never realized that they could be collecting 2 gems a day by watching videos. That's because Disney Magic Kingdoms restricts that to people 13 and over. So if you don't have that functionality, you're over 13, you need to open up a ticket, contact Disney Magic Kingdoms, and with proof, they will unlock your game so that you can have the ability to watch ads. So not only can you watch 2 ads for gems every day, but you can also watch an ad for a free bronze chest every day, which is really valuable. I do that first thing in the morning to hopefully try to get the 2 happiness to kind of like bump me back up. You can watch ads for to help skip cooldowns for Merlin. So Merlin's main cooldown for when he collects, that usually is on a 4-hour timer. You can watch an ad to skip that once a day. You can also watch ads for magic. And this is kind of tying into the newcomer tip of the week also, which is if you're new to this game, like new, or somewhat new, you can watch, I don't remember how many it is. It's been a long time since I've done it, but it was like 5 or 6 or 7 ads for magic every day. So you go into your, where you buy magic, and up in the top left corner, there's a thing that actually says like, watch video for magic, right? And when you're starting out and magic's really hard to come by, you maybe get 100 magic for each video you watch, right? So you can get like 700 magic a day. But if you think about that over the course of a week, all right, or, 10 days, that's 7,000 magic. And when you think about how much it costs to level up a character back in those low levels, that was like a good 2 or 3, levels worth of magic. Mm-hmm. So it makes a big difference. Now, someone like me, I don't watch those videos anymore. But for a newcomer, I think that it's really valuable. And let's just be real. You're watching TV, you hit the button, you keep watching TV. You don't have to have your eyes glued to the screen for 30 seconds every time. But I think it's a very valuable way to make sure that you're getting the valuable stuff at the beginning of the game. So that's it. If you have any other questions about that or want to talk about it a little bit more, we have a Facebook group, or you could always hit me up on Twitter at ATK Podcast or Facebook /ATK Podcast. Hit us up on social media. Join our group. You can always talk about it more there. Okay, so let's move on into more of the news here that we have. We'll get into some news. Let me pull this up. So the first thing I want to say, I have a big announcement as far as the show goes. Our show has gotten bigger and bigger. I never thought it would be as popular as it is, and I thank each and every one of you every week for that. And it's hard to maintain. And we have a new moderator that we've welcomed to the Around the Kingdom family. It is someone who has always been consistently putting valuable information into the group, commenting, sharing, interacting with people, and a really, really great guy. And I'm so happy to have him join us. So I want to welcome Matt Rodriguez to our family. Everyone, probably knows him in the group already, but, give him a big, high five or a thumbs up or something whenever he posts some awesome content in the group. And just want to thank him for all his efforts and time. So that's our big show news. You know Matt, right?
I don't think so, but I think I've seen the name before.
Yeah, you've seen him before. He's a big contributor to the group, and he's awesome. So welcome, Matt. All right, so let's move on into the game news. So there is a sweepstakes going on right now. Have you seen the sweepstakes, Lori? You were talking about that before.
Yeah. Wait, did I see it? What did I say before?
That's the one for the stained glass video?
Oh, yeah. I like the video.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Let me bring it up.
So there's a
contest. You just want me to talk? Okay.
Well, I'll talk about the contest. You tell me what it is. So there's a contest right now where you can win early access to the Lady and the Tramp float. And the way you do it, a geeky chick will tell us.
Earn a chance to win early access to the new Lady and Tramp. Count how many hearts are in the stained glass, and you submit your answers in the comments. And you'll do that on the Disney Magic Kingdoms, their official Facebook page. It'll be right there at the top, the post.
Yes. And so it's super cute. It's the stained glass for the Lady and the Tramp. And you just count the number of hearts, comment there, and you have a chance to win the Lady and the Tramp float. I found that very interesting that they didn't release the float day one.
Yeah, I saw that a little ready later.
Yeah,
it's a cute little float, though.
It is a super cute float. It's one, I'll always be critical or say, I like or don't like a float, but this one's really super cute. They did a really good job with this. So yay for the art team for another really cool thing. So the Lady and the Tramp float wasn't available right away. I'm so used to either having a float for content released the day of, or a lot of times now they're doing like the next day, after an event begins. But I was surprised to see that it was 7 or 8 days after the patch hit. So yeah, so you can get an early access to it. I wonder what it'll cost. My guess is it will be the usual price of 50 gems.
Yeah.
I don't see it being anything else. So that's a must get, especially because floats, enchanting things, all of that stuff. Another newcomer tip of the week. I'm just going on lots of tangents. All that stuff is so important at the beginning of a character storyline that's introduced to the game, right? Like for people like Mickey and Friends and things like that, like you don't need Mickey balloons, you don't need Mickey gloves, right? But like when something new like this hits, like Lady and the Tramp stuff, like in being able to enchant those things is very, very important and very valuable. It makes things go very quickly. So yeah, that float is coming. All right, so let's talk real quick. Last thing we missed, catching up from the last show, is that we had the Lunar New Year. So we had all of the different costumes that were for the characters that are actually still available in this patch. They will not be available. It's my understanding from when I spoke to Gameloft that they will be available through this Lady and the Tramp patch, and then they will no longer be available. They're limited time content after this patch. So if you're kind of wavering on getting these costumes, then now's your time to do it. I believe they're 120 gems each. So, and then there was the Mickey Lunar New Year costume that you were able to do as a leaderboard event, and it was a tapper event where you were destroying stuff. You were gathering. It was dustpans and little brushes and using those. So I guess the question is did you get any of the Lunar New Year costumes, either the ones you purchased or the Mickey one?
No, I don't have any of the new ones, no.
Yeah, so what was your thoughts on them, on the way that you would get them, or just what are your thoughts on that content?
I mean, I like the ones where it's like a tapper and it's controlled, like you know what you have to win. I don't like anything if it's like a leaderboard because usually I don't stand a chance to get them. But I thought they were all very cute. I like the way they looked. I guess I think I'm a little bit I just don't get as excited for costumes because besides like walking around my park, there's not much, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree. When I first started this game, costumes were very exciting.
Yes.
The getting the Haunted Mansion, I got that in a chest. Not only was I super excited to get the Haunted Mansion, but I was super excited because it dropped, now you probably have to enchant it or whatever, but it dropped Donald's fabric tokens. It dropped, for his Halloween costume, and they were valuable. There were a lot of things that you needed the Halloween costume for, or the pirate costumes for. And now there's just so many costumes that don't serve purposes. The lunar ones that you were able to purchase helped with getting the Mickey Lunar New Year costume, but I don't see them being used anytime soon. Maybe they'll be used next year. But you're right. I don't get as excited. I didn't even try for Elsa's Snow Queen costume when that came out. Did you try for that or get that?
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I didn't. I wasn't gonna spend $10 to get a bundle when it wasn't even guaranteed technically. To just get a costume, and it doesn't do anything. If they want to really make costumes more exciting, I think they need to make them do things, and I think they need to make them do things regularly, because I think that would be something that would push me to want to get something, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So, all right, so that's the Lunar New Year. So that is it for that. And a quick reminder too is that speaking of the Elsa Snow Queen costume, they are going to be re-releasing that at some point in the future. We don't know when. We don't know how. It won't be in a chest, is my understanding. But anyway, that is just an FYI for you. Okay, so let's now get into the Lady and the Tramp. So we have a new patch, and the new patch is update 38 for the Lady and the Tramp. So here's their little blurb. It says, "With us, every day could be an adventure. Welcome Lady, Tramp, Jock, Trusty, Tony, and Joe from Lady and the Tramp. The characters and content from this beloved classic story will be available as part of permanent Kingdom Quest storyline." So stop right there. Love that it's permanent content.
Yes.
And yes, and that it's a lot of characters.
Yeah.
A lot of the permanent content they've been adding is one guy here, two people here. DuckTales was 4, but this is a lot of people. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Yeah. So that's good. That's a lot of people. A lot of characters.
Yeah.
All right, so Tramp has been spotted searching about. It appears Lady has lost her license, and he is on a mission to recover it. It'll take a couple of visits to a few familiar places and the help of both canines and humans alike in order for Tramp to meet his objective and ensure that Lady can once again leave the house for some peace and quiet. So the patch was released on February 4th, which was 3 days ago. So we talked about the new content. We talked about the characters that are coming. Along with it are 3 attractions. Do you remember what those are, AGeekyChick?
Yeah, it's Lady in the Tramp's house, Tony's restaurant, and the Beaver Dam.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, Tony's restaurant, you knew would have to be part of this, right? Once we knew it was Lady and the Tramp, Tony's restaurant, that's like the most iconic place in the film. So you knew that had to be there. I think it's cute that their common token are bowls of spaghetti with meatballs.
Yes.
I think that's really cute and a nice touch for that. Lady in the Tramp's house, I really like as well. And then the Beaver Dam. Not really quite sure about that. What's your...
I haven't... Well, I guess I just recently watched the cartoon and the other one on Disney Plus. But where is the Beaver Dam? Like,
I don't know. It's been a while. I'm being honest. It's been a while since I saw the movie, and you've just recently seen it, so I don't even remember how that ties in.
Me either.
Okay. If you're if you're watching the show live right now, and you can tell us how the Beaver Dam is part of this, that would be great. Thank you. All right, concessions. What do we got?
I don't know the concession stands ones.
The concessions are the spaghetti stand, which makes perfect sense, right?
Yeah.
And then you have Lady ear stands and Tramp's ear stand. So super.
How are those going to be available?
That's a good question. I don't know. Actually, no. You know what? I do know. Hold on one second. Let me pull this up here. Okay. Concessions. They will be available in concession chests. Easy enough. So you'll be able to get those either in the kingdom or you'll be able to purchase chests in the game.
Yeah.
Okay, going back to the characters, by the way, Trusty is a premium character. And there was a bundle for Trusty. So, well, you know what? We'll talk about Trusty's bundle a little bit. The other premium character is going to be Jock. Jock is going to be part of a leaderboard event that's happening during this patch. And if you can't get him during the event, he'll be available as a premium character starting in the next patch and moving forward. Okay.
I like that though. That you still have a chance to get them. You don't have to wait until the next, event comes around.
Right, or that they're not stuck in a legendary chest.
Yeah, that too.
Just being able to buy a bundle and know you're going to get them is a lot more enticing than buying a legendary chest and knowing that you can possibly just keep getting a stand over and over, right? Which is my life. All right. Decorations. There is the romantic table. Ooh la la. I feel like I need 20 romantic tables spread around my kingdom. Yeah, we'll move on from that. And then obviously there is the parade float. The Lady and the Tramp float is going to be available. So there's that. Then there is going to be a new costume. After Elsa's Snow Queen costume came out, people said, where's Queen Anna's costume? So Queen Anna's costume will be available. It's coming in this patch at some point. We don't know when. And it will be obtainable during a striking gold event, which are trophies. Trophy event.
Yeah.
So, that being said, you want to make sure that you try to get things that are going to drop trophies. Now, they keep every patch switching up who drops trophies. So as far as trophies go, gold trophies will no longer be, they are now no longer available from Star Wars and Wreck-It Ralph buildings, and they are now available from the Princess and the Frog buildings. So this is the first time they've recycled it. It started out when they first did this as Princess and the Frog, and now it's Princess and the Frog again.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have Princess and the Frog characters and attractions, you're going to be at a significant advantage during the Striking Gold event. So, that's what you're going to do. So let's see. What else is going to be happening? So some changes. The blue lightsaber stand, its rarity has changed from epic to uncommon. And they've changed the way that it produces magic. And it's going to be available now, right? They're moving those into regular concession stands, I believe. What do we have here? Where is it? Yeah, they'll be in the concession stands now. So that's good. They're pretty cool. I only got one of them. Did you get any of the lightsaber stands during the event?
I didn't do the Star Wars event.
Okay. Okay, so now the following concession. So another thing that's been happening is they've been rotating through the concession chests and kind of adding things, taking things out, trying to keep things fresh. So you're not always getting the same thing from the concession stands. So the following concessions have been added into concession chests. So you have the spaghetti stand, the burger stand, the candy cart stand, and the Lost Princess ice cream stand. You got a soda concession, and then Tramp and Lady's ear stands. You also have Mickey Mouse wishable stand and Mickey Gloves boutique. And then
I never got that wishable stand.
Yeah, those are the creepy ones.
Maybe the little plushies.
Yeah, the Mickey and the Minnie ones looked a little creepy, I think.
Yeah.
But they've made some other wishables, I believe, that weren't as creepy. But
yeah,
I don't have them either. I probably wouldn't put them out either.
Was it the Little Mermaid or the Nemo wishable ones? It was
fish. Yeah. See, the Nemo and the Dory ones are cute.
Yeah.
The Mickey and the Minnie ones are a little creepy. Okay. The following concessions have been removed from concession chests to make way for these ones. Hot dog concession, ice cream stand, the creperie, patisserie, slushy stand, mini ear stand, backpack stand, lunar balloon lantern stand, and the Captain Hook hat stand. Then they've done the same thing for decoration chests. I'll run through that real quick. They've added romantic table, scare storage, 15-layer cake, picnic table, treasure map. And then they've taken out the stone dragon statue, Beauty and the Beast billboard, choose your costume, frozen fountain, and the teddy bear throne. So that is pretty much it for the content. There. Just kind of going through one more time to see. Okay, so some other little things that they did. Is that there was a little bug that we talked about in the last event where some of the characters' wishes were messed up. So they are back now, and they're even shorter. So Jesse, Mike, and Bostaff Fighting from Li Shang all have events. They're not an hour long anymore. They're back to their normal times. And then 5 activities were reduced to 1 minute, and the rewards have changed as they will be involved in the leaderboard event for Jock in Update 38. So I don't really understand why this is, but it is. So a special dinner promotion, Daisy, is an 8-minute task. Special event sandwich is Goofy 6-minute task. Contact Star Command, Buzz Lightyear's 8-minute task. Spread cheer for an event, Zurg's 10-minute task, and Rex's Dino Parachute Drop, 16-hour tasks. All of these have been changed to 1 minute. So that's very interesting, to say the least. What do you think what would you need during a leaderboard event for 1 minute tasks? What do you think about that? What could that possibly be?
What do you mean?
So they're going to be 1 minute.
Yeah, there's 1 minute. Do you think like, oh, is that going to be like overboard during the?
Like, what could they possibly do with a 1 minute task that they need to change that to?
Oh, oh, I don't know.
I have no idea. It's a very strange change.
Yeah, I don't, I don't like the happiness wish, the wishes.
Yeah. Okay. So they also made some improvements to the character ready notification. It's going to be a lot more streamlined and less intrusive. You'll get a notification when you're done collecting tokens for a character. However, it will not continue to show past that. Yay! Man, I'll tell you, when you collect a common token and you just see every single character flying on the screen, that was just annoying. Because you know what happens is you turn it off. You stop paying attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's the point of having it when you're not paying attention to it anymore? So I like now that when I see something pop up over there, I want to look at it to know, okay, this person's now ready. You know?
Yeah.
It was just, and I heard that before my time, it was even worse.
Mm-hmm. I was about to say, I remember they made some changes to it. Because, yeah.
All right. What else do they have? They mentioned that Star Wars Legendary Chests will be available soon, which is no surprise. Then they also talked about the visiting home feature being optimized. So so we're going to talk about another part of this a little bit later in the show. But what they're trying to do right now is one of the biggest problems when you say you want more land, you want more land, you want more land. One of the biggest things that Disney Magic Kingdom says, which is hard for a lot of people to understand, is that the game will run slow if there's too much going on. The more characters you have, each character walking around takes up memory in your device. And you can only use so much memory, especially with older devices. If I play on one of my older iPads, it's like, I can't even tell you how slow and sluggish it feels, right? Do you have any old devices that you've ever played this on?
Yeah, I have an old iPad mini. I don't even try.
Yeah, it's terrible. So they want to make it better. And the way that they make it better before starting to keep chucking land at people is that they have to reduce the memory that the CPU, which is how much computer processing power it's taking from your device, and make it better so that when you add more stuff, it's not overloading, right? So they've been doing lots of little tweaks here and there along the way. And what they've done is now they've optimized the visiting home feature. So having characters home will take less space for your game in devices, and your game will run more smoothly having characters at home. This should improve your game as far as performance, lagging, or crashing. So it's just a simple fact of like, if you have 100 characters out and each character uses 1 megabyte of memory, you have 100 megabytes of memory you're using. These aren't real numbers, by the way. But if you have 50 characters home, then you're only using 50 megabytes of memory, and that's going to make it more efficient and faster. So if you're having performance issues, if you're having crashing, if you're doing this, consider putting people home. If you don't need them, put them home. I do. I find that it makes my time playing much more enjoyable to actually have a good amount of characters home.
Yeah, and it's much easier to pull people out that, you know, how you can click actually who drops tokens, who doesn't, and you can like bring them all home or put them all away much easier than we used to. So it's a lot easier to use.
It is a billion times. They've really, the person who decided that this needs to be updated gets a gold star in my book. So it's super easy. So in case you never really use the home feature much, if you go to it now, there's 2 options. There's send to kingdom, and you can just click on that, and then it will say, you can just click a button, and anyone that has any tokens to collect, you can just hit a button, and it will send them all to your kingdom. Yeah. Same thing with send home. You can go to it, and you can say, anyone that doesn't have any tokens to collect, send them home. And that's what I do. I have everyone. So when I go around, you know, and I do all my tapping, you know, I log into the game, I tap everyone, I complete everyone's quests. I look to see if anyone needs to get leveled. And once I level somebody, I immediately go in and I look, does anyone, you know, need to come to the kingdom that collects tokens? And then if no one does or whatever, I send them back. And then I go to home and I say, all right, does anyone now need to go home before I start sending them out on quests? And I find that
Yeah.
the game is so much more enjoyable because I'm not cycling through 175 characters every single time. Right? It takes up...
Yeah, it makes it so much easier to play.
Yeah.
Where like you're enjoying it instead of like feeling like you're having to like work and dig to the point where you're making progress.
Right. It's like grinding, you know. That's exactly what it is. Like in a lot of games that you play, like Hearthstone, but World of Warcraft, any type of game, there's an expression called grinding, where you just kind of have to keep doing the same thing over and over and over to kind of get what you need. This makes it feel less grindy. So try putting your stuff away. It will make your game better. What else? So that is it. That is all the stuff that they have for here. We will talk about one other improvement that they've made to the game, or non-improvement, I should say, in a little bit. All right. So that is it for the Lady and the Tramp update notes. So before we talk about anything else here, what is your thoughts, opinions on this? From
the Lady and the Tramp?
Yep.
Oh, I like it. Like I said earlier, I was really happy that it was permanent content. I like that, you know, it's a classic, but also you can even consider it a new one since they did the live action remake. And I'm kind of happy. Like when I first heard, like I didn't think we were gonna have like 6 characters. So like you said, I was happy for that because you kind of just think of, I mean, I guess there were a lot, but they could have just added, you know, just Lady and the Tramp, just like a 2-character special or something. So I'm happy with that. I like that you can work at our own pace. There's no rush. And then it also gives people a break to just work on this until the next big thing comes.
Yep, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. They've really given us a nice break from events, tower challenges, whatever. We haven't had a tower challenge in a very long time. We had like 2 or 3 events in a row. Like I can't remember the last tower challenge. Was it maybe like September or October?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. So I wouldn't mind another one. Tower challenges are okay. Yeah, I agree. I'm super happy that they introduced this. I love it. It definitely lets them. There's opportunity for additional characters because the cats are not here. I almost thought that they would be there, but I think they'd be a fun character. You could even make them like one character, but both of them. Like somehow, you know, fun. Like that would be fun. You know, like have the 2 of them as one character, and they always do like the same quest. Yeah, no, I'm really happy. I actually want to go watch the 2 movies again. I want to grab my daughter, little squirrely, and watch the 2 movies again. Watch the animated one, then watch the live action.
Tramp's friends? What? I don't know their names, but the other 2 stray dogs that he would hang out with. I thought they would have made it.
Yeah. All right. So that's it. So let's talk a little bit more about a couple little things in the game. So there is the Trusty Bundle. One other thing I want to talk about was originally it was announced that this content would only be available after the Dumbo storyline. So this was going to be endgame. But it turned out that it wasn't. It turned out that it was available earlier than that. So a lot of people got to play it that they didn't think they were going to. So that's good. So now there is the Trusty Bundle. Trusty is $9.99 US. And Trusty comes with enough tokens to get him to level 2. So what is your thoughts on the price and the bundle offered by Trusty?
I guess I'm not surprised by like the $9.99. I feel like this kind of just a price that we're used to seeing for bundles. But I'm still one of the people I miss when it was not just you get the character and then they get leveled up. I would rather see a different bundle, like a character with a concession or a character with some of the gems, so you kind of feel like you got some of your money back, I guess, in a way. But yeah.
I couldn't agree more. So going from the game at the beginning when you start getting your premium characters, they work it in, right? They don't just slam you with $10 characters when you start. Like Rex is like $3.99.
Yeah.
I think Pluto, Pluto and Pluto's house has a bundle for like $4.99. You know what I mean? Like they're cheaper bundles, and as you work in, then it's like a $7.99 bundle, and then it gets up to $9.99 eventually, right? So where this content fits in, it's right around the $9.99 where that begins, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I think that I understand it's $10 for a bundle, and that's okay. However, the price point for gems is 500, which is very high. I think especially for this point in the game, like when you look at 500, 550, you're looking at Peter Pan, you're looking at, you're looking at, the Ringmaster, Scrooge. I guess Scrooge was earlier, but I still think the 500 is kind of pricey. I wish that those would go down a little bit.
But yeah, when you think about the equivalent what is it, like $20 for 500 gems?
Yeah. Yep.
So, I mean, when you look at it like that, that's kind of crazy.
Right. Which is why what they say is it's a 50% better value, right? That when you see that little thing and you want to know what's it a better value of, it's a better value than just buying the gems. Because if you went and purchased gems with real cash, you'd spend $20 and you would just get Trusty. You wouldn't even get the gems or the tokens. So, but that being said, I don't like the tokens to get to level 2 things at all. I've always been very an advocate that I don't like that. They do that during events because the character can start collecting for things at 2 for the event. The first time I remember them doing this was with, I think it was the Sultan, when that was coming out. But I don't like it. I like gems. Especially the earlier ones made sense to get gems because you're buying stuff and then you want your newer players to get gems to kind of feel it. But like even the Ringmaster, which bundle I still have not purchased, and I don't have him in game either. He's the only character I don't have. He's $9.99 and he comes with 100 gems. So I would much rather have 100 gems than tokens. Especially tokens for a character that's not an event character, that's not time limited. So I get in events, they do that to kind of make it so that you can get to that level so you can start collecting because you're time limited, but there's not even time limited. So I think it would be much more enticing if they would have made a concession stand with him, like you said, or if they would have, and not a concession chest, because then you don't know what you're getting, right?
Yeah.
Make it with an actual stand like they used to do. Or gems, something of that nature. I think would have been really a cool way to do Trusty.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't even look at it as like, since this isn't an event, that there's no value in leveling him up to 2 quickly. As we're in an event, it does have more of a value.
Right.
I didn't even look at it that way.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and that was a big thing for me when I saw that. I was like, well, who cares? Get him when I get him. There's no rush. You hear everyone on the forum saying there's no rush. Take your time. Don't stress out. They're permanent content. And then the same people, have everything by now. But but it's true. So the only reason I don't have the Ringmaster is because he just doesn't do anything for me, to be honest. I might just buy the bundle just to get it, but I don't know. I just didn't like the character to begin with. So, but anyway, moving on. So today, this is not the first time that this has happened, and I find this very interesting that they put this information out there, but they never really talk about it. New moderator Matt Rodriguez found in the frequently asked questions section of the the patch, a whole section for how are we going to get Jacques. And so basically what it looks like is it says that you need to participate in a limited time mini event, and you're going to keep an eye out for special roaming creatures to be tapped. Once you tap a creature, you're participating and it'll be ranked on leaderboards. And then there are spiders. So you need to tap spiders, I guess, or do something to spiders. And there are frogs. So to clear the frogs, obtain the listed requirements, then select one of the heroes to help. So there's going to be battle frogs as part of Jacques. So you're going to need to battle frogs, and then the frogs are going to drop dustpan tokens. And the dustpan tokens are going to clear sand whirls, which we just saw. And so you're going to keep collecting tokens, and then you're going to clear frogs to get dustpan tokens, and then you're going to need to use dustpan tokens and something else to clear sand whirls. And that's probably what the spiders drop. Maybe they drop the other item. And then you'll need to defeat these sand whirls. But it does say, to clear the sand whirls, obtain the listed requirements, then select a hero to help. Clearing the sand whirl will help you progress through event milestones, which will help you welcome Jacques. Sand whirls will continue to spawn through the event, so you can keep progressing through the milestones. The quest and the sand whirls will disappear when the event is over. So it sounds to me like Jacques is a milestone and not necessarily leaderboard.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like leaderboard.
It sounds to me like milestone. Which,
unless we have to collect his tokens and you get some of his tokens in the milestones.
Well, what I could see is this being a like one of the past mini events where you have multiple events going on at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So like the Get Jacques mini event could be like a 7-day long event. And during those 7 days, there could be 2 leaderboard events that happen. And the higher up on the leaderboard you are, you get tokens to defeat sand things, which then can get you more milestone progress, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I see it going. Does that make sense? Do you think that sounds right, or do you have any other ideas?
Yeah, it sounds right. I would definitely prefer that more than him being a leaderboard prize. So I hope you're right.
Yeah, I really hope that it's not a leaderboard prize. I think that I like the fact that they make leaderboards to help you along with the milestones, but typically I feel like the milestone, as long as you kind of, set your timers and keep on top of it, the milestones are pretty, easy to achieve. So, of course, what's going to happen, right, is that you're going to need those Hong Kong lunar costumes to get all these extra dustpans, and we're all going to be kicking ourselves in the butt for saying that they're never going to be used again, right? That's what's going to happen. That's going to be Disney Magic Kingdom's way of telling us to be quiet.
I hope not.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it for what's going on in the kingdom. There's one more thing that I want to talk about, because hopefully most of you have stopped listening to the show, so you don't have to listen to me ranting. But I'm going to rant here for a second. I've always been very honest from episode 1 that I'm going to be critical of the game, give constructive criticism and feedback, and I need to just really go to the next level here. So I'm going to try to keep it as constructively criticism as possible. So begin rant. In this patch, as part of their optimization process to help make the game run smoother, they have taken out the voices for the characters. That's right. You heard me correctly. They've taken out the voices of all the characters. So you no longer will hear Bo Peep talking about her sheep. You will no longer hear Buzz or Woody or any of the characters that speak anymore. Previously, we had talked about wanting to add more characters to the game because it feels like it gives it that extra touch of fun. I liked hearing them talk. I liked hearing them interact. And I wished that there was more. And there's not. They've eliminated it from the game. It has been confirmed that they will be addressing this in the next live stream. It is confirmed that there is going to be no quick fix or putting this back in at any time soon. And I think that this was a disastrous idea. What do you think about the removal of the voices?
Yeah, I don't think it's good. It makes the game feel less full, if that's a way to describe it. Or I don't know if you've ever played mobile games where the sound's just not right and the game just feels unfinished. And like without the sounds, it feels like that. But I will also say that for me, when I first started playing the game and you had all of the character voices, I loved it. And then they kind of just didn't do it anymore. And it was kind of like, I just feel like kind of like in between, like either, like you said, add more. Like I felt like more characters should have got voices. And I don't know if that has something to do with licensing or something. But it always felt also kind of weird that we didn't have voices for everybody. And then the bad side was sometimes when you would send the character out, you'd have to wait for them to finish saying what you were going to say until you could like move on. Or at least it felt like that for me.
Yep, there were definitely were. I think Buzz was a culprit that he did that with. But I think that it's really when you're. A lot of people have said, "Oh, I don't play with the sound on anymore," or "Oh, whatever." Right? Good for you. Right? Yeah. But when I started playing this game, it is what helped give it that little bit of extra flair, right?
Yeah.
And without it, like sound is a huge part of how you absorb content. And I think it really added a touch. And like you said, I wanted more. I wanted more voices. I don't think it has to do with licensing. I think it had to do with optimization and file size and all of that stuff from the beginning. Right? Mm-hmm. So, and this is just speculation. But here's the thing, right? It's 2020, right? Pulling stuff out of games permanently is ridiculous for something like this, okay? If you want to keep your file size down for downloading, how many other games, AGeekyChick, do you play where you download the game and it's a smaller download, and then once you've downloaded the game, it starts to download other content?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's like the majority of them.
Right. Because you don't want a 5 gig game or even a 2 gig game, even though this one's almost a gig. But you don't want like a 3 gig game to be downloaded, right? You'll download a 500 meg game, it loads quickly, you launch the game, and then in the corner, you kind of see that you're downloading more content. And you have the choice to flip on or flip off whether you want to download that content. A lot of it's optional. Hearthstone realized that to optimize the speed and performance on older devices, their golden card animations were taking up a lot of memory. So they removed the golden card animations from their initial install and made it an optional choice to download. So if you had an older device, you didn't have to download that content. And your file size was still small from your initial download. If you wanted that content, you had a small initial download, and then you could download the rest of the content from the Hearthstone servers. It is 2020. They've been doing this for a long time, and it's not just Blizzard, right? It's lots of games.
Well, I think there also needs to be a question in mobile gaming. How long do you keep supporting older devices?
Yes.
Where you think like in console and computer, like computer, you don't have a good computer, you're just not playing the game.
Right.
Console games, they don't always do backwards compatibility, and maybe it's only like one system back, if they do that. So I think that there needs to kind of be a line drawn in mobile gaming. Like if you're serious about mobile gaming, you can't still be on like, the first couple of iPhones that came out.
Well, here's what I'm going to say about this. I think it was terrible. I think it was a horrible choice. I think that that removing voices could have been a good option if they would have done it differently. And I think this was a giant failure. I think that there's been a lot of choices like this that have been bad for the game. And I feel like there's been a lot of choices made by their team that have been choices by someone who was in the field years ago. And I think that it's time for a company that makes hundreds, tens, if not over $100 million. I believe last I saw it 2 years ago, it made over $114 million this game. To get someone from the outside who is in an industry that's leading, that can talk about changes and things and development in 2020. I feel like they're so far behind sometimes in development and the way that they're optimizing and the way that they're doing things. And they need a fresh face because I think that things are not good with a lot of the changes that they're making. And this is all back-end stuff. They're front-end designers, they're art designers, Natalie, all these fresh faces and people that are doing great things are awesome, right? But some of the people who are making decisions on the back end need to be reevaluated, in my opinion. Talking from my business sense. And that's that's the end of my rant. I work for a very large company that deals with a lot of money. And when things are not cutting edge, we make changes. Anyway, that's my rant. All right, let's move on to something funny, into the Disney Dad Joke of the Week. Oh boy, sometimes I gotta get a little dark on this show, but it is what it is. All right, the Disney Dad Joke of the Week. What does Mickey Mouse use to browse the web?
What does he use?
He uses something you have. An iPad mini.
That's fun.
Yay! That was funny. Okay.
I like that one.
All right. Let's move into feature report. Feature report. Feature report. Actually, just was watching the Octonauts the other day and got a good laugh out of that. All right, so I got some feature reports here. I actually lost my list of feature reports, so I'm sorry if you've sent me one over the last 2 weeks. I had a nice list and I lost it. I asked for some feature reports from the kingdom, and so here we go. I've got a bunch here. The first one is from Mark. When looking at a quest, it would be great if you had to see what the character token's for and how many of them you have. Yeah, I like that idea. What do you think?
Yeah. Anything that make it easier.
Yeah.
And less climbing through menus.
Yeah. I mean, even have pull out on the side or something like that. It'd be a nice feature. Matt Rodriguez, a way to use Merlin's Cauldron so that an uncommon blueprint could transform into 3 common blueprints. The game requires so many of them, and there's only so many ways to get them. I love that idea, Matt. I think that there should be a way where either way, where you could combine commons, 3 commons, and turn them into an uncommon. Rather than just going down, you could go up also. So you have your choice, and to combine 5 uncommons to make 1 rare, and 8 rares to make a epic, and 10 epics to make a legendary. You know what I mean? Just some sort of that, and then it costs elixir to do it. So there's your other way to use elixir. Because getting to level 5 seems so daunting for an enchantment, right?
Yeah.
Just seems
I like that idea.
I love that idea, Matt. That right there is next level development, right? Maybe Disney Magic Kingdoms should be hiring you. Okay. Morgan says she wants a small icon next to the character when you send them out on tasks if they're ready to level up, just like they have if they're useful for the tower challenge. If I knew a character was ready to level up, I would know what quest to send them on for timing. So I like it. So how in the tower challenge there's a little symbol that like they're tower challenge characters. It would be cool if there was just something up there that said ready to level. So because so many times you send someone out for an 8-hour quest, and then you're like, oh, someone just finished leveling. Let me see who I want to level. And then you're like, oh, I just sent that person out for 8 hours.
Yeah, it would definitely help with decision making.
Yeah, I like it. Thanks, Morgan. MTS McClure of the Clan McClure says there should be a way to search for characters, attractions, concessions, and decorations, whether in storage or out of the park. Yeah, we've talked a lot about storage. Kathy Clausen is a big proponent of search functionality, we've talked about quite a bit about that on the show. Absolutely agree. And there should be a way to be able to search. There should also be different ways to arrange, kind of like in Excel, Microsoft Excel. Like you can sort A to Z, or you could sort by type, or you could filter. That's right. Kathy was big on filtering, so you could filter out things. So you can make it so you only see a certain type of something or whatever. So yes, I agree that would be good, especially because I think that I can't even tell you how much scrolling you have to do in the character screen to just go up and down, your character book. The character book is outgrowing itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's just 50, 60 different things you have to go through. So that's something that needs to be optimized as well. I absolutely agree. Allison says gathering spell for all characters. Yes, I'd love that if Merlin had a spell where you could collect all your character tokens instead of just magic, like the opposite of the magic one. What do you think, Geeky? You like that one?
Yeah, I do. It sounds like Merlin just needs to do more.
Yeah. What would the cooldown be on a character collection?
Oh, I mean, just once a day wouldn't be good, right? So
I'd say 12 hours.
Yeah, 12 hours is good. Be able to use that twice. And that's good for people who have like a 24-hour quest and then all the, I think that's good.
Yeah, like once in the morning, once at night kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be good. But yeah, no, Merlin, the feature report for me, Merlin needs to get leveled up. He's at 2.
Yeah.
Let's give Merlin a couple more levels. Bring out those sword in the stone again, make that attraction useful. That dropped his books. And get him to a 3rd level where he can do a spell that gathers for characters. Get him to level 4 where he can do conjuring for enchantment scrolls. Get him to level 5 where he can do something else, right? Start working with Merlin again.
Yeah, I remember when he came out, it was really exciting. And then when we got to get him, leveled up, and then him just sitting here at level 2 almost feels like an abandoned idea,
Yeah, he hasn't been touched in a very long time. But happiness was an abandoned idea for a while, and now they revamped it, and they optimized it, and they made it cool. Merlin's next. Get on the horse of Merlin. He needs some love. I think that would be a great idea to do. Okay, Karen says we should be able to tap on an attraction and determine what the drops are for all the enchantment levels. We shouldn't have to look online for an enchantment chart. That's me clapping. Yes, I couldn't agree more. You should be able to tap on an attraction and somehow be able to see what that attraction drops at every level. Just being able to see what it drops at the next level is so absurd because you don't know. You spend all this hard-earned tokens. You level something up to 2 to find out that at level 3, 4, it drops nothing. You don't need anything, right? So, yes, absolutely. You shouldn't have to be scavenging on... And it's not like Disney Magic Kingdoms even has that stuff readily available on their website. You have to go into fan groups and all that kind of stuff, and it's really... It's tedious. So, I agree. Especially the more and more and more that they're making enchantable. These charts are gigantic. Have you seen some of the enchantment charts lately?
No, I haven't.
They're gigantic spreadsheets. We should be getting paid to look through one of those, right? So, all right. Finally, MV McClure says maybe they should add a feature where you could send your extra decorations and concessions to other players and friends on Facebook that also play the game. That's a fun idea. We've talked about trading before, and how it would be fun. But Disney Magic Kingdoms, I can tell you why there's no trading, and it makes sense, and I agree with it. And the big reason is that people would want to sell things online. There'd be a secondhand market. If that started happening, I could put up a website called Disney Magic Kingdom's Trading Group, and I could match people up and get, and say oh, you want 5 decorations, that'll be $5. And then people start trading stuff and, doing stuff. And then what if someone pays and then the other person doesn't trade? I mean, it can turn nasty quick. So,
and it'll be more than $5. Think about limited, event things that you can't really get or that's tied up in crazy chests. It would be crazy.
Yep.
And then there would just be abuse.
Yep. There would be hacking and abuse, and so as nice as it is, and as much as it's like, oh, this would be nice to do with friends, there's a big loophole that would cause a lot of problems. So.
And it would cost them money because, if I get a bunch of chests that were only in a legendary chest or a concession stand chest, and then, I give them somebody else, now they're not going to spend money jumping into that chest system. And
someone else is making money on that transaction. So it's a big lose for Disney Magic Kingdoms to do that. I still think it would be fun if you could look at other people's parks like you used to be able to.
And I like that you could tap and you could get a little bit of...
some magic.
It was nice. I think it was just nice. It added like a multiplayer community sense. Come look at my park and what I've done.
Right, because it's hard. You put all this time into making a park, and then you can't show it off unless you make a video, take the video, go to an online group, post it in an online group. You know what I mean? And then it's not easy. Where you could just go and trade your player code or friend someone in the game or something, and then you could go and look at someone's chest and you could message them and say, check out what I did with my park. And then
I liked when they had that on the Facebook page. Remember when they were featuring people's park and they made that cool video? That was fun.
What happened to that?
Yeah.
They stopped doing that.
They stopped that real quick.
I think Daniel won it, right? Daniel won.
Yeah, he did.
Daniel
won
it.
They made that awesome video, 3D, a view we don't even get to see of our park. So.
Yeah, that's a great idea to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Congratulations to Bree. Bree finally got something good as a reward. She got the money bin in a chest. So congratulations to Bree. All right. So I think that is about it. So we're just going to wrap up now. I don't have any reviews to talk about right now that I've checked. So we'll do that. Next week's show. So my schedule has kind of changed back to where I should be able to do Wednesday nights regularly again. The way, I was taking classes and stuff. So I think that they're moving to Thursday nights. So I should be able to get back to Wednesday nights. So hopefully Wednesday night will be next week's show. The week after that, the week of President's Day in the United States, so that's the 17th, I will not be doing a show. I will be down in Florida at Disney. So super excited to be going back. So there'll be no show that week. But I'll still be around and checking, so I'm clicking on my game. All right. Anything else? Any shout outs or anything you want to do, Geeky Chick, before we head out?
No, I'm good today.
All right. Well, my big shout out is to Geeky Chick. It's been so long since I had you on the show. It seems like we fixed the technical problem of you glitching out. So that is really good. So hopefully we'll be able to have you on a lot more and be able to hear you very clearly. But I'm really super happy to have you back on. You are one of my original compadres, and it's been too long since we hung out, so I'm glad to have you back today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for always inviting me. I was like, it's a good time.
This is your home away from home. You're always welcome here. All right, if you want to be more involved with the show, you can follow us on Twitter at ATK Podcast and like our Facebook group at facebook.com/ATK Podcast. Here you'll find out before anyone else about any breaking news that we hear, information on contests and giveaways, when new shows are published, and of course my ramblings and photos from my day-to-day playing. The show's Facebook group is up, and it's a great way to easily interact with me and other fans of the show to talk about our favorite game. The link to our group will be in the show notes, and it can also be found on the show's main Facebook page. You can also write into our show. The email address is aroundthekingdompodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you think about the show, what's working, what's terrible, or any other topic you want to write in about. You can also check us out on YouTube, and we have a Discord channel as well where you can come and chat with us. If you do want to help support the show, please head over to iTunes, subscribe to the podcast, and leave us a 5-star review. Doing this is quick, it's easy, it costs you nothing, but helps us greatly to be seen by other people so they can enjoy the show also. All 5-star reviews will be read at the end of every episode. Listening to the show is all we could really ask for, but if you want to help support us in another way, check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/aroundthekingdom. It would be great to have you join our Patreon team. Thank you for joining us this week. I am Steve Squirrel. For myself and Allison, or not Allison, for myself and AGeekyChick and Allison and Matt Rodriguez and Morgan and Alicia and all the people of our team, thank you so much. And we hope you have a great night, and we will see you around the kingdom next week.
Bye, everyone.